Hello everybody, Ian Robson, and welcome back to an episode of County Line. Alright, we have a couple things going on today. First things first, I will go over to here, which is our over to our grass field over here. And we have it all mown and raked up now. And it is good to go. And here it is back here. So it's ready to go. So I leased one of the Kuhn round baler wrapper combination. Because as I mentioned, I just find for wrapping specifically, it just seems to work it's a lot smoother than doing it in two separate passes, I find at least. Because I use coarseplay a little bit, of course, and I just find that it just works a bit smoother. Now I could have it set up with Follow Me, but I find with the baler that we're using right now, the Massey Ferguson baler, which one is it? The one from the Massey Ferguson pack, this guy right here. I found that it drops the bales like in a very odd manner. So like if I were to bale a whole field up, it like drops like in weird sections. So that's the reason why I'm kind of like, I don't really need it. I'm not going to do it that way because I found it just didn't work very well with the wrapper because you have to readjust. Even if you do it with coarseplay or manually, you have to readjust all the time. And it was a pain, so I didn't like it. So because of that, we're going to go ahead and use the Kuhn baler wrapper combination. So that field was wrapped and ready to go, and a couple people mentioned actually in the previous episode, I asked about putting the seasons mod in and see what would happen if you adjusted to the United States. There's that cat again. Adjusted to the United States seasons, and apparently it's not really a big deal. You can basically just bring it in, and it doesn't really change very much. It does change the planting and harvesting seasons a little bit, but that's okay. And one quick other note is that there's no sugar beets. I guess the USA map USA season is based on Midwest, and in the Midwest apparently they don't do sugar beets according to the seasons thing. So I don't know if that's true or not. I did see a couple comments of people saying, no, you actually do sugar beets in certain areas in the United States, maybe just not everywhere. So anyhow, sugar beets in Canada. At least in Ontario, I think they do it in some places close to the United States, because I think there's a sugar factory. I think maybe in Maine or Michigan or something. So it's close to the border. So because of that, not very many people harvest or plant sugar beets because of that. Apparently, our case is stuck. Are you beside the combine? Oh, okay. That's always great. Well, might as well just grab it real quick. Oh, never mind. Sometimes. The things it does. Just then it's on its way. As you can see, we're almost done harvesting this wheat field here. And we're just going to let it do its thing. Really? There you go. Just get out of its way. I guess that works too. We're just going to let it do its turn here. And then we'll let it go. There it goes. Jeez. Anyways, let's hop back into our Ford 8830. I actually like this tractor a lot. It's a good workhorse, 185 horsepower. So because this setup needs 140, I was going to use the New Holland T8, but that's way overkill for this. You don't need 400 horsepower for this. Oh yeah, so you can't do that. So I got pink wrap this time, so I changed it up. So this is just a leased item, so it's $11,000. So, and let's see how this is going to work here, because I believe it stops when it has to switch the bale out anyway. So we'll see how it works together. Like I said, I just find this is a better combination for the way I like to play. No, I need to slow it down. That's a little too fast. Let's pick it down to like maybe to 12 kilometers an hour. See how that works. And it should automatically unload. Should be in the keyword here. Alright, apparently it's not going to automatically unload. Z. There it goes. Now it'll automatically unload. There we go. Should stop. Are we gonna miss a little bit here? Not much. A little bit. How much does it actually miss when I do it? It's 12 kilometers an hour. A little tiny strip. I'm not worried about it. We get the majority of it. What are you stuck on now? Behind the combine? Really? And the combine can't go anywhere because of this guy right here. Watch this. Yeah, see? Courseplay is not a perfect science, that's for sure. Anyhow, there we go. So we'll do a couple headlands on this field here, get this done. So the reason, or the how it's automatically unloading on this field is, or this tractor, is with the bale automatic unloader. I believe they changed it so it worked with wrapped bales as well. So that's the automatic unloader. That's from Decker, I believe. And I have it set up with drive control as well, so it automatically stops once I hit 100% full. And I have the speed set a little bit lower than you can go with this, just because it will stop and not, necessarily miss so much. This is the one downfall, of course, of having round bales. They're gonna go all over the field. Now, there's worse things. At least they're getting wrapped all in one combination, as opposed to having to run all over the place and wrap them, which I found was quite annoying, actually. And the bales wouldn't drop. If they dropped straight down, it wouldn't be so annoying. But because they dropped and they would kind of like shift and stuff like that with the other baler, I don't know. Like I said, it might be just that Massey Ferguson baler. So if we were to upgrade to, let's say, the Kuhn baler, the Kuhn square baler, which is a really nice baler actually, then maybe that would be fine. But for whatever reason, the one we're using does some strange things. 1 second, coffee break. And yes, I'm drinking coffee today, which is probably why I feel as if I'm talking a lot faster. I apologize if it seems that way. Just tastes so good. Alright. Rocking this. Yeah, so once you have kind of like the appropriate mods for doing this, it's not too bad. So this is the auto unload from Decker. I think that's in the mod hub. And then drive control is on mod hoster. And using them in tandem like this right now, it makes your life a lot easier, because you just stop when you're full and it automatically unloads. Unfortunately, I don't know if maybe the Krone has been updated, but the Krone, I think it's the Primos or Ultimo. No, it's the Ultima, not the Primos. The Primos was the one that made wood chips from straw. But the Krone Ultima has the preload chamber, so you can just keep driving. You keep driving a bit slower, mind you, but you can keep driving. Whereas with this one, you don't have that option. You just have to stop and then unload the bale. So it just depends on what's your fancy. I like this one better. I think this one looks more polished. Now the interesting thing will be is whether they include this in the next game or not. So in, I guess Farm Sim 19, I guess it would be. Are they going to include all the DLC from the previous game in it? Usually they do. Usually they're pretty good about including the previous DLC in the base game. So for example, the IT Runner pack, they included... What else did they include in this game? Titanium Edition, I guess they did technically, because that was Westbridge Hills. Sugar Beet, the Homer DLC, which is still a great DLC. I know, I'm not a big Sugar Beet person, but they are pretty. They have some cool aspects to them. So, all right, let's get up this hill. There we go. So, like I said, it's kind of nice because it's almost like driving automatically, but it has like some aspects to it that kind of, you don't have to, I don't know, I enjoy it more like this. You can set it up so you have to manually unload the bale and manually drop off the wrap bale, but I don't like that way. Ooh, tractor's a little bit of trouble going up this hill here. You can see just the exhaust blowing some black smoke there. It's not going to help when you have the extra weight of the bale though either. So now you have like 2 4x4 bales. So apparently, I've talked to a few people, and apparently this kind of combination, you generally wouldn't see it from just a farmer. It's more like a contractor you would see it from. Which makes sense. It's a pretty expensive baler wrapper combination, and you'd have to do a lot of bales in order to kind of justify buying this. But it would be interesting. I don't know. I wonder. I wonder if there are any farmers in my hometown that have something like this. I doubt it, honestly. There's not that many people who do silage bales. And usually they'll just do it separately. They'll have like a separate wrapper because it's so much cheaper. Like this is like $140,000 for this baler alone. And then you need a tractor that can use it, which not everybody has. Like if I take my in-laws for example, they don't have a tractor that can even do this because their highest horsepower tractor I think is like 120 horsepower or something like that. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, I think the 4230 only has like 120 or something like that. Something in that neck of the woods. So they wouldn't even be able to use this, and they don't wrap bales that often because they only have a small herd of sheep. Now, if you were to sell it, maybe if you were to sell silage bales, it would work well. I don't know. Excellent. Oh my goodness, I forget how loud that thing is. Like every time you get closer, you're just like, whoa, what the heck is that? Every time. Now, as I mentioned, I did lease this particular implement, which is actually pretty cheap, honestly, considering how much money you can make from renting it, or leasing it, sorry. So, I leased it for $11,000, and from like what 3 bales, I can get $11,000, like less than 3 bales, I think. So, it's well worth the leasing price. Now, of course, it does kind of negate the fact that I have a square bale wrapper now. Maybe I might go back to it because we leased this. Like I'm going to do both the fields with it, and then basically once I do both the fields, this is the dairy field, and the other field would be the field by the main farm there. Once I do that, I'm just going to return it. I may put a few hours on it, but I'm not that worried about it, to be honest with you. There we go, headland done. Nice. How many bales did we get out of that headland? Just out of curiosity here. Let's see. Statistics, 16 bales. So just from the headland we got 16 bales. What are we selling a bale for these days? 16 times, what would it be, 3,000, 3,900? Oh, that's a pretty good profit. Alright, actually let's do, let's go this way, I think. Because it kind of ends up over here. If memory serves. Now again, this is me putting my foot down. And you can see I'm doing 16, 17 kilometers an hour, 18 kilometers an hour. But what will happen is, once you reach a certain point, if I don't slow down, I'll just end up missing a whole section of grass. But you can do it. You can do it this way too. Like I'm gonna put my foot down right now. Once I get up to about 80, 90%, I put the cruise control on, and it gets the last little bits there. You can do it that way too, so. Alright. Yeah, I don't know why, but for baling, I don't know why, but in order to do like a good job, I find I need to be in the tractor, in like first person view like this. I have no, like I think it's about following the windrow, because if I don't, it just seems like I'll miss like just a huge amount of it. Unless I'm like this. Well, that's no fun to watch it like that, so. There we go. Nice. This is a great combination. I'm so happy they include this in the game. Or I guess you had to purchase it, but anyways, it's still a great combination. It wasn't terribly expensive, and it really facilitates like activities like this. Like, it's just crazy. And I think if we were to look at my cows, I think, let's see here. Yeah, they're good. They're at 99% productivity. Again, they only reproduce in the summer. So I got 4 cows this summer, which seems like not very much, honestly. I feel like I should have gotten more. We only had 16,000 liters of liquid manure because I used a little bit of it, and 2,800 liters of manure. So not terrible. Now, let me just check. I don't think I put these in. One moment. So I thought I had put the another mod into my placeables category, but I guess I haven't done that yet. I think I have it downloaded somewhere. Basically, what it does is it adds a lot of extra processing steps to beef and pigs. I think I may have mentioned this before, but I don't know why. Maybe it's on my other computer and I just haven't transferred it over. Who knows? No, apparently not. Anyways, it's called the Castor Food Product. I think it's called Castor Food Inc. That's what the name of the mod's called. Basically, what it adds is a whole bunch of extra processing steps to, I think, primarily pigs, I believe, but I think you can do it with other animals too. Anyways, so that's one of the mods I was going to add in. One of the placeables. And of course, there's a lumber mill, which I actually should add as well. I don't know why. I keep talking about adding that one. I just haven't done it yet, so I have no idea why. But anyways, those are a couple of mods I think about planning on adding. Now, the food processing one, I believe that's only for pigs. I don't know. I have to look into it a bit more. Whoa. Got a little carried away there, going downhill. And that's what happens when you drive downhill with a foot to the floor base. Your foot pedal to the metal, so to speak. Anyways. One of these days. So we're going to do a couple headlands here. Finish off this headland. And then I think we'll grab these bales and move them off the field for the time being. Because we'll have roughly about 32 bales. If my calculations are correct, at least. Alright, so that is the 2 headlands done. Oh, of course I'm going to miss that little tiny bit there. Let's get that little tiny bit. It's not going to do very much, but we'll get it. There we go. Excellent. Let's pull over to the side for the time being. As you can see, we still have some bales sitting over there for the time being. Now, I think Country Gaming was asking about this. She was asking, like, how do you know when your bales are ready to be picked up and when they're silage? So here, this is with the game extension once again, the latest edition of the game extension. So if I walk up to this bale, you'll see it says grass. Whereas if I walk up to this bale, you'll see it says silage. And again, that's with the game extension that allows you to do that. So even though I left these outside, they're good because they're wrapped bales. And as you can see, it says silage. And these ones say grass. These ones were just done, so I believe it takes, I think it's like 2 days, I think it is, 2 or 3 days in-game. There's a specific line about it in the Seasons mod, but I forget what the actual line says about that specifically, but I think it's like a couple days. Oh, well that's going to be a problem. Well, this guy's done anyway, so let's hop over to the case. Is the combine finished? Is it empty? Yes. That pipe though, eh? So the last thing we have here is, there we go. Let's bring that back. So the last field we have is the cornfield, which isn't quite ready yet. There we go. Fold that back up. We'll lower the header down here, detach, and take this off the field. So I think the majority of that field was done with courseplay. I think I did a little bit. I did most of the unloading, is what I did. But as you can see with the chopped straw there, it does a pretty good job of covering the field. So that's basically one stage of fertilization with the chopped straw. So, all right. Apparently I missed that. There we go. Let's take this back to the main farm for the time being. So it's going to be, I think, a couple days before the corn's ready. And then we'll finally have some corn to feed our cows, which is going to be amazing. We won't have to worry about grass anymore. As I mentioned before, I'm just going to switch, like, wholeheartedly switch. I don't know why I said it like that, but I'm going to go switch just straight up to corn. Just because I find it's going to be, I find it makes more sense. I'm strangely reminded of an episode of Star Trek. There's an episode where, it's not Captain Kirk this time, but it's Captain Picard. And number 1, Riker, are trying to cancel a self-destruct sequence, and for some reason, in that particular at that particular time, Riker is like, he's like, yes, I wholeheartedly agree about stopping this self-destruct, and then Captain Picard after the fact was like, did you have to wholeheartedly agree? Why can't you just agree, sort of thing. It's a funny little scene, that particular episode. It's going back a ways though. Yes, I like Star Trek. Before you say anything. It's funny. Actually, a lot of the guys in Discord like Star Trek too. It's kind of funny. All right, let's go ahead and unload this. And that's already done, so we can close that. Excellent. So what's the final number? What's the final tally on the wheat? 330,000. It's not a bad price right now. We have 200,000 canola. And that price is going down now. It's not going up anymore. It was at 3,000, which is a pretty decent price, but it's not that high anymore. And we have corn, of course, which is the next thing. So we could sell some of our wheat to the livestock place. I guess they're low in feed right now, but that's fine. And let's just tell this guy to stop at the last waypoint, because I want to switch out to the other trailer. And it might be, I think the other trailer might be here, or it might be at the livestock farm. I'm not sure yet, so let's put this back over here. It's not quite done for the season, so I'm not going to bother washing it quite yet, because we're going to have to use it soon enough. Put it over by the combine. There we go. Yeah, because like I said, we probably only have a couple days before we're going to have to bring it out again for a corn. And we'll definitely need that for corn as well. There we go. So the final tally on this will probably be, what it would be. So I said 320,000, I think it was. Something like that. Yeah, so we're going to have 380,000 is what we ended up with. Not too bad. And that was for field 10, which is one of the smaller fields in this game. On this particular map, I should say. The only field we have left is 33. Which is pretty sweet. So what we're going to do is going to collect those bales up, and I think that'll be the last order of business for today, because our mower is still mowing this field right here. Almost done though. Once he's done, I'll put the Oliver to work. I'll use the Oliver for like tedding and for raking. I don't know why. It gets really dirty though. I think this is a little extreme in terms of the dirt skin. Maybe it's just me. Ah, there we go. Let's put the cover back on that. There we go. And also, I noticed this, where was it? I noticed that they actually changed this in this course, but they have like a drive control setting, so you have an automatic setting, or you can set it so four-wheel drive always, four-wheel drive and diff locks always. You can set just so the rear diff locks for field work. It's kind of interesting, so they added some more options. Usually I just leave it to automatic, but for this truck I find that putting it on, not automatic, but four-wheel drive always seems to work best. Just because it gets to some hills, and for whatever reason it gets stuck on the hills really easily. I don't know why, but it does. Alright, put this beside the bale trailer, and that's the trailer we're looking for there. There we go. Detach. Do a little switcheroo here. There we go. If only it were this easy in real life. Oops, I missed that one a little bit there. There we go. Let's grab those bales now. Alright, just grabbing the bales right here. This is the first two headlands here. We got, I don't know how many bales. We can actually check that real quick. I think about 32-ish. 29, so almost 32. That was a pretty good guess actually. So that's perfect actually, because this trailer holds I think about 30 bales, something like that. Apparently there's one on American Eagle modding that actually holds more. I forget how many it held though. Someone actually mentioned it. I think it's a Wilson style trailer, so that'll be kind of interesting. I'll have to check that one out. There we go. Grab these. This is the joy of this particular trailer. It makes picking up bales a joy. You can do it manually too. I've done it manually. I think I did it once manually and people were like, oof, geez, exciting stuff here. I don't know, some people like doing it. I don't mind doing it once in a while. Most of the bale handling I don't mind doing is when I'm feeding cattle. If I'm not feeding cattle, I don't necessarily enjoy it as much. See? That sound just like comes out of nowhere and like, ow, my ears. Well, at least it feels that way for my ears. Maybe not for yours. So we got 30 bales roughly. 29 to be exact on these two headlands. And that's pretty good actually. That's a good chunk of change right there. Now of course I can't sell these yet because they haven't fermented, but we're just doing a little bit of we're holding these for the winter basically. Well, actually this holds more than 30 bales. Wow. Okay, this holds more like, how many would that? So it's 29, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 bales. 34 rounds. That's pretty good actually. Alright, so let's put these up beside these other ones. And interesting little fact, Mark, the way he does it is he actually changes the color of the bales for each year. So he'd do like, really? He does different colors of bales each year. So he'll do like, black, white, green, and then pink for different times of the year. That's funny. Are they gonna stay here if I put them here? No. They want to roll. Alright, what about this? We'll try and put them the other way around so that the ones that are staying still are gonna hold the other ones there. That's too funny. Just those, like, the few ones at the end want to roll. There you go. That's bizarre. I guess because they don't have any weight to hold them there. Anyhow. Anyways, folks, that's it for me today. We'll come back next episode and see what we got. Probably do a corn harvest, I imagine, something along those lines. So anyways, that's it for me for today. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more County Line. Catch you guys later.